How's everybody doing? My name's Mike, and we got Miss Mocha with us today. So, what we're working on with Mocha is keeping her calm in the crate. So, she's particularly a very excited dog when she first came to me. She's been with me for almost 2 weeks now, about a week and a half. One of the most important things we do is right away we get them used to being in the crate and also being calm in the crate and not so like a lot of people, these owners ask me, is the dog barking to give you a signal to go outside? And this is a very common question I get from people. People ask me, can you get the dog to tell me when it wants to go outside? And the answer is, of course I could get the dog to do that, but I would never want to do that. So the answer is no. I never, ever train a dog to bark at me or to whine as a signal to go outside, because what's happening then is you're teaching the dog to communicate with you that way. So every time they want to do anything or want anything, they're going to whine or bark. The other thing is we want to put the dog on a schedule. We want to have the dog hold their urine, their feces. We want them to hold that until we take them outside. That's how we start to develop a muscle for the dog that's going to hold that urine in. They can't develop the muscle if they're always going right when they have to go. Then there's the other issue of, if you're not home, how's the dog going to tell you they need to go out? They're used to going out every time they need to go. So again, we put them on a schedule. We let the dog sit in the crate. For this dog, she hasn't had any accidents in the crate, which is great. That's a biological thing that dogs naturally do not want to go where they are sleeping and eating. She also gets fed in this crate. So we don't want the dog barking or telling us when to take the dog out. The other thing is the dogs don't have a whole lot to do in your home. So if they're bored, they're going to bark to go outside. So they're not going to be going outside just to go to the bathroom. They're going to go outside because they want to explore, they want to do other things. Even though a lot of the owners, they try to potty train the dog, they don't understand how to do it properly. So the dog learns when the dog is outside that, it's just time to explore, play around, be distracted by things, which the way you want to set up the potty training for the dog is you want to walk them, say like in the road, you would walk them, and then when you put them in the grass, you'd say, okay, go to the bathroom. You give them about 30 seconds if they don't go, and then you start walking again, and you keep repeating that process. The idea is to get the grass to trigger the dog to go to the bathroom. So the crate is a great potty training tool. We also, like I said, we want the dog calm in here. So if the dog's barking and whining, chances are the dog is not going to be calm. They're going to be excited or anxious. So we want the dog relaxed in here, calm. So if I have to correct her for anything, I'll just use a shake hand. I'll just shake that if she's whining or barking in here. If it's real bad and she won't stop, I'll take the leash and just thread it through the crate and attach it to her collar. That way, then I'll have I'll have access to the dog through the leash while she's in the crate. And this gives us a direct connection to the dog where I can tell her to stop doing things. I was correcting her because she's licking the leash. They start to lick the leash, eventually you're going to start to chew on it. So the whole goal of keeping the dog in the crate is to have her calm and realize it's a resting area. It's just like a den in the wild. It's meant to rest in. They're used to being in there when the rest of the pack goes away, so it's a very natural thing. So on to keeping the dog calm in the crate. So when I approach the crate, just because I touch this doesn't mean she's going anywhere, right? So you see her, I will not open the crate unless she's sitting. And just because she's sitting, that doesn't mean she's necessarily calm, but I will just not open the crate until she's sitting. So when I first got her, I would often come up to the crate and I would just touch the crate and walk away. Because what she's learned in the past is anytime someone comes up to the crate or anytime someone touches the crate, they're going to let her out and she can just fly out of the crate. She can just run out with no respect and very excited. So that's why we don't just let the dog out anytime we go up to the crate. We never just let the dog out. I can open the door, but she has to remain in the crate. Now, if she were to try to get out of the crate, I would just shut the door on her. Okay, so you have to do it before they try to leave the crate too. A lot of owners, they open up the door and the dog flies out, so the dog learns, excitement. The dog learns to be excited in the crate when people come next to the crate. When you're coming out of the crate, when you're going in, the dog has learned excitement. So the whole goal now is to have a dog that's calm. As you can see, she's pretty calm right now. She knows she's not going to be coming out here. And again, I'm not physically holding her in there. I'm mentally controlling the dog. So I'm not physically holding the dog in there. Good girl. Because she's sitting waiting for me. I give her a little atta girl. And she'll go after like my hands. Like if I put my hands in the crate, she'll like try to lick them or try to touch them with her nose. In my opinion, that's something dogs do when they really don't want somebody's hands near them. So they learn to push people's hands away with their nose and by licking them. And I see it almost with every owner. The dog goes to lick, dogs that lick excessively, the dog goes to lick them and they're, oh, no, and they pull their hands away, which actually reinforces to the dog, if you lick me, if you touch your nose to me, then my hands go away. So then the dog obsessively now is targeting people's hands, trying to lick and nose them all the time, which is very annoying. But can be stopped, but it has to be stopped with proper punishment. So what I do is, if I have the leash on her, I can tug the leash to tell her no. But before I have the leash on, I have to either use vocal, I have to warn her before she goes to lick or nose my hand, or I can use the shake hand. Personally, I like to just use my voice at first. So we get closer to the crate, I observe the dog. How does she look? Does she look excited? Is she calm? Is she sniffing? So she's sniffing, that's good. She's wondering what I'm doing. Probably she's wondering why this time it's taking so long. So when I go in and see, hey, you see how she goes and she goes to touch my hand. So the other thing is too, if she goes to touch my hand, I can also use my hand to just kind of poke her with my hand. It replicates a bite. Our teeth, the teeth is like your nails and the mouth is your hand, right? So I just take my hand and I kind of just poke them right by the neck or in the side if she goes to my hand. That's the other way I can kind of discipline her right now without having a leash on her. So here we go. Hey. Good. 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 Because I don't want her to touch. You see 1 foot up, that means she's just, hey. See, she's trying to resist doing it. Hey. So I'll just kind of sit here and I'll do this with her. Hey, hey. And I'll just warn her, like, hey, man, no. I'll warn her, hey, don't go after my hand. Don't do that, Because she's trying to control people with that. Hey. So now it's safe to go in. Boom. You see how we did that? Now, if I would have went in right away when you first saw me do it, she would have absolutely nosed me and licked me. And what you're seeing now is a very calm dog compared to when she first came to me. She was so much excitement when you got to the crate, barking and all kinds of things. And this is how we get them calm, is we actually take our time and we correct the little things like the nosing, the licking, and all that kind of stuff, and that will create a calm dog. But if you just try to wait and you don't correct the dog for licking your hand and things like that, then it's not going to work. The dog's going to be excited. So we have to create the whole picture. We have to be calm, and we treat this like any other threshold. We want the dog to enter and leave calmly. We never allow the dog to, see, even when I just grabbed her paw like that and got the leash out from her, she touched her nose to me because it's habit for her. We want the dog to leave and come in and leave calmly through any threshold. Because if the dog is entering my home from the crate, super excited, then she's going to be excited in my home, right? There's a better chance of her being excited. When dog's excited, they only do things you don't want, like bark, bite, or lunge. So if I have the dog enter my home from her crate calmly, she is more likely to be calm in my home. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like. And again, I'm looking at the dog, seeing what does she look like? Is she laying down? Is she sitting? What kind of eye contact am I getting? All those different things from her. So I see the dog's calm, and when I see that, then I can absolutely let her out. Okay. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Good sit. So she even with all that, there's still a little excitement. There's still a little excitement from her, which is okay. And same thing with entering back into the crate. She has to be calm. So if I bring her to the crate, heel, sit. If I bring her to the crate door, and I see how she is, I observe her. She seems pretty calm. So then I can say, okay, then. Good girl. Good girl. So then, that's how we can practice this exercise. We can go back and forth doing that, practicing, letting her out. You know, you do this 5-10 minutes a day, the dog's going to start to look like this. Letting her in and out of the crate and just practicing her going calmly through that threshold. If you practice having a calm dog and you're telling your dog to be calm all the time, and you're constantly reinforcing that, then you're going to have a dog that is more calm in your home, as long as you're doing all the right stuff with them. And if you practice having an excited dog, meaning you're really not training the dog, you allow the dog to be excited, even if it's for small moments at different times. Allowing the dog to be excited when it's not controlled, like a game of fetch or something, is only going to hurt you. It's only going to be detrimental in training. The dog will be excited. So again, I'll go ahead and show you guys one more time. She looks calm. Okay, heel. Good girl. Heel. Sit. So I can just practice doing this with her. Okay, then. So then she learns too, just because you come out of the crate doesn't mean you're going to fly out of the crate and we're going to go anywhere you want. Just because you're coming out of the crate doesn't mean you're going on place or going outside necessarily. I might just be doing what I'm doing here. And then the dog starts to calm down, because what happens with at the owner's house with most dogs, with most owners, what happens is the dog's allowed to fly out of the crate, and the dog knows we're going outside or we're just going to run around the house. There's a lot of excitement happening, and again, you're only going to get those bad behaviors from your dog when they're excited. So the crate is a place where they rest, okay? That's where they're supposed to be resting, so it's very important that we train the dog to be calm and relaxed in the crate, and also come in and out of the crate calmly.